you and I get along really well online because we understand a good deal. And there's nothing better than the depreciation of a luxury car. The depreciation on the Cadillacs and Mercedes is insane.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. You know, and so like I'm like, oh, look at that 2008 right there. Wow, look, $6,300. And that was a $58,000 car just 10 years ago, right? And now I'm not looking at the 08s, I'm looking at the 2014s. Because the 2014 Escalade is like $14,900. And that's well within reach.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, oh God, that was in that Ludacris video. That was the ride. That was, you know. And so you know that you can get your hands on these luxury vehicles for much less than they used to be. But my wife, when she was admiring my ability to know how depreciated this nice car was, and I was like, well, this isn't really where the big deals are. The real depreciation is in exotics.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So we go from $380,000 after the first sale down to I don't know what, and then after 3 owners of a Bugatti Veyron or a Bentley or something like that rides now $93,000, and that sounds like a lot of money, but you know, when it was owned by Boston Celtic,
oh, that's resale value right there.
you know, you're just like, you know, and so like that's just not where I am, and I'm not going to go spend that money, but I admire that depreciation on that high end.
Oh yeah,
and I see it.
But you have that option to say yes or no. Like you said, it's obtainable now. It's like
a Bentley's not obtainable for me, but
the other luxury,
the Cadillacs and the Mercedes are certainly attainable now.
Where you're like, I used to want that, now I don't want it anymore.
Yeah, the Lincoln Navigators and stuff like that, really nice. And you're like, okay. And so we're looking at a second kid, and so like eventually we're going to start looking into that, and so you never know.
See, now you can, start thinking about the station wagon Cadillac.
The new one? You talking about the new one?
I think it's discontinued, but that frame.
I don't even know what you're talking about. It was what year do you think?
16. I think 12 through 16.
Oh, it's the CTS wagon.
Yeah.
So I own the saloon, but then they have the wagon. Now the rare one is the CTS 4 wagon. That's the all-wheel drive wagon. And my thing is, when you see them in person, they look like a hearse. And so I'm like, man. Unless they're like studded out and they've got the nice wheels. And, when you see them, they're stock.
Yeah.
And they're all right. But they remind me of a Dodge Magnum in a lot of ways.
But it doesn't have the soul of a Magnum.
What do you mean?
Like that, the Corvette engine sounds and performs a whole lot better than the Hemi.
Okay, I can't disagree. So you're saying like the CTS wagon, so that's the CTS V.
Yeah.
And that's its own rarity. All right. Oh, she's pulling it up. Yeah. See, hearse, stock hearse, right? But now look up the CTS V wagon. It's different. Yeah, maybe you might be looking at it right there with the black wheels. There you go. Hit it. Yeah, see, it just looks a little bit better. There.
See?
Pretty. But I'll tell you, that back seat's truncated. It's tight. And big guys, what are you, 6'2"?
I'm probably 5'11".
All right, we'll call you 6 foot. But, you would be in the front seat anyways of that thing. You wouldn't be sitting in the back. But it's tight in the back. It's just a low hood, and it can be comfortable if you want it to be, but there's not as much room to move around. The thing that bugs me about the CTS Saloon is that you can't drop the seats down for more storage in the back. They're locked in place. You can open up the little cubby in the middle, and you got that like 5x7 cubby to put like some wood through or something.
Yeah. Normally the hatches or the 5 doors have where you fold down seats.
That hatchback would fall down, but the one with the trunk and just the regular Cadillac sedan, it doesn't come down, and so that's a frustration of mine all on its own. Because I thought for a long time I could get it open, and then I couldn't open it. I'm like, I just thought I was an idiot. I'm like,
How do you rack on top of it?
I might see. This is the thing. Long story short, January 2020, I'm really looking at Escalades. Really looking at them. So much so that I went and found the identical Escalade to the CTS that I have. And I sent a picture to my uncle, and he's like, how'd your car do that? And I'm like, no. It looked like it transformed into because it's the same front grille.
Yeah.
Everything's the front is the same. It's just beautiful. I love that look. And I started having a real long conversation with my uncle about it because he's a gearhead. He owns a Porsche 911, right? I mean, it's insane. And his Porsche never depreciated in value. It's actually worth more now than it was when he bought it in 1996. And so, he knows cars, and I was sitting there looking at that car, and it was 14.9. It was 14.9, 2012 or something like that. And it was okay, but like when you got up close to it, it had some like issues, like the paint had bubbled on the mirror.
Yeah.
Like things that you love about it if it's your car already, but things you don't love if you're going to buy it. And it was clean inside, but it had like tan floor, not black floor, where my CTS has a black floor, tan seats. That's what I want, because that black floor protects you from look.
Yeah,
and the tan floor had been shampooed a bunch, but someone got in there with red clay on their feet. And so I was like, I don't know. It didn't feel right. But I had given up on that one, but I was still looking around, and my uncle was like, hey, Josh, something's weird right now. I just don't think you need to be buying a car. January 2020. We didn't know about COVID till March 17th.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day was when COVID was here. It arrived like an alien ship on our planet, And I was like, I don't know. Are you sure? He's like, listen, just fix it. And at the time, it was going to cost me like $1,100 to fix the Cadillac and get it back online. And I was like, man. And I was talking with Orlando Avalos, because he's my mechanic most of the time. I drive to Monroe so he can fix my car.
Okay.
Right? Just because I trust them, and they're my friends, and they give me a good deal. And I didn't have the money to fix it at the time. And I made a leap of faith. I was like, fine, you know what? I'm gonna double down on you, Cadillac CTS. I love you. I'm gonna keep you, because I did like it.
Yeah.
That check engine light wouldn't go off. It was making noises. It was just not good.
Is it a V6 or a V8?
V6. Yeah, I think it's a 2.8. Might be a 3.2. But whatever. But I fix it. I get it fixed. And then COVID hits. And I'm like, God, I'm so glad I don't have that car payment right now. Because it would have been like $400 a month. $380 something. And,
Yeah, sweating.
my uncle comes over after COVID, and he's like, yeah, good job. You listened to me for once. And I'm like, I listen to you, man.
Oh,
Don't tell me I don't listen to you. So, it was close call, though. Because had I bought that, I don't think this would be here. Had I bought, $400 a month, wiping me out every, like, this costs a significant amount of money to install. Now, a lot of it was labor intensive, and wood wasn't expensive yet.
Oh, first time I was here, you were talking about the doodads and stuff that you were buying here and there.
Well,
you wouldn't be able to do that.
But so, the big camera here, I bought that during COVID, and that was a $2,800 investment. Got it used, depreciated, brand new, $8,400, right? And so how to.
Yeah.
I take my car buying skills, I turn them into camera buying skills, and so like I got all. This was the most expensive sound mic I have, and that was $500. I wouldn't have been so quick to release my cash if I had that $400 car payment coming in. So lucky break. lucky break. And what's crazy is I felt blessed because after I did the catalytic converters on it, I replaced both of them. And I bought the catalytic converters off of Rock Auto, and I drove them to Orlando, and Orlando put them on, or Amero did, and and then my car was up to snuff.
Yeah.
There were still a few things that I needed to fix, but I got them fixed up here in town, and the check engine light just never come back on. It's always on. Check engine light would never go off for years.